Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm at Tesco. Other supermarkets are available, and other campervans are available, of course, too. But this is the brand new Adria Active Duo, based on the latest Renault Trafic. And I want to find out not only if this is a good campervan, but if it's a good car too. Because this is more of a day van than many of its rivals. So if we're considering this Adria Active Duo, first of all, as a car, well, I've done about 100 miles in it now, at virtually 40 to the gallon, which can't be bad. All helps with these days fuel prices. And I can honestly say that I've enjoyed driving this more than the Kia estate car that I drove down to Adria in. Now, how does it feel? Well, it feels just like a people carrier, really, more car than van. It's and this is the very latest Renault Trafic. It's the first one of these that I've driven. I've driven many Renault Trafics over the years, but this is the very latest generation. First time I've had one of these on test. And one of the things that Adria emphasise is that while there's a new Ford Transit Custom in the offing, just about to come to market in campervan form in the coming months, and of course the new VW Transporter, the replacement for the T6.1, that's probably a year or thereabouts away. This Renault Trafic now, they say, will not change until 2027, so you're not going to buy something that's instantly out of date. And it certainly doesn't feel out of date. This new dashboard design is rather nice. You've got this 8-inch touchscreen display. Now that includes what Renault calls Easy Link, which does your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, it does still need a wire with the USB socket. It's not wireless, but other than that, it seems to work very well. You've got a nice little car-sized leather steering wheel. All the instrumentation is very clear. It's quiet on the road. That's one thing I've been particularly impressed with. Conversion noise is virtually non-existent. You've got these new, bigger door mirrors, so good visibility behind as well. And reversing camera is built into this screen here as well. You've got parking sensors at the back too, but not at the front. Externally, it's got a completely new look with a new front design. Yeah, I mean, it's a useful update on the Renault Trafic. The engine in this one, they're all 2-litre diesels. They start at 110 horsepower with a 6-speed manual gearbox. That's what Adria fit as standard. This one is the 150 horsepower engine with the 6-speed automatic gearbox, the EDC Renault calls it, and that's a twin clutch gearbox like Volkswagen fit in the Transporter there, DSG. It's very, very, very smooth, as good as any automatic in any light commercial vehicle, I would say. And then the power. Well, yeah, this is the 150 horsepower engine, and well, my own VW Transporter campervan, that's 150 horsepower as well. I would say this feels livelier. It's got 350 newton meters of torque, which is only 10 more than the Transporter, but it does feel very lively for a sort of mid-range power output. Of course, it's only a small van. Gross weight's just over 3 tonne and payload just over 600 kilos. But yeah, all in all, as a vehicle to drive day in, day out, at 5 metres long, it's easy to park, it's easy to drive. You've got good visibility through the centre mirror, so no complaints at all on the road. Just look at the way it picks up. It really does pick up well. And the next test is, does this little Renault fit into a standard car parking bay? Well, I think you'll see that it does. And even if this car park had a height barrier, that probably wouldn't be an issue either. This particular Active Duo has the comfort pack, which includes lowered suspension. Now that reduces the overall height with the top down from 2.035 metres to just 1.99 metres. So it's good to drive, it fits in a parking bay or even under a height barrier. Just a quick recap on those dimensions: 4.99 metres long, 1.99 metres high as long as you order the comfort pack, and 1.96 metres wide. It looks smart too, doesn't it? You wouldn't be ashamed to turn up anywhere in this. Unlike a lot of campers of this size, it has quite defined graphics, typical Adria graphics as you'd see on their larger campervans and motorhomes. This one also has the optional metallic paint. There's a choice of exterior colours and the alloy wheels. And I should just go back and mention on that comfort pack and the lowered suspension, it does give this Renault quite a firm ride, but it also means that it feels very stable on the road. And then this is the bold new face of the Trafic with these C-shaped LED headlights, a much more aggressive front with a more horizontal bonnet over that 2-litre engine. These chrome sections on the grille and down in the lower spoiler unit, and the fog lights are also cornering lights. But the best news of all, perhaps, if you're thinking of using this as your daily driver, is it has sliding doors on both sides. And this isn't just one of those vans that gives you a second sliding door to maybe access the loo for servicing or something because the kitchen's built right the way across. You have a proper access on both sides and a step on both sides as well, so easy access. And then, well, maybe you've popped to the supermarket as I did earlier, and you can put your fresh food straight in the fridge. And that's just as useful when you're on site camping and sitting outside too. And as a passenger carrier, it works too, because you've got this comfortable Reimo rear seat, fully tested of course, and the sort of legroom that you only expect in a limousine, as well as height adjustable headrests. Of course, the seat is on rails too, so just release these two catches, lift up the bar, and you can move the seat forward and lock it into a position closer to the cab, ideal if you're carrying little ones. And of course, you've got ISOFIX for 2 rear child seats as well. What you can't do, of course, is carry more than 4 people. So if you do need a 5-seater, well, this isn't for you. At the back, you've got a full-size window with wash wipe and your reversing camera as well. Just be aware that if you're parking in a tight spot, you do need quite a lot of space to lift that tailgate. So don't park close to a wall, for example. And then, well, if you've been shopping, you've got this large boot area to use for all those shopping bags. And if you've got anything that you want to keep away from prying eyes, you've got a lower section of boot as well. Or you can fold that up and stow taller items. But of course also you can slide the seat forward. This is in its more rearward position. You can go even further forward right to the cab, and then you've almost got a van. So, the Active Geo certainly works as a car. Let's see how we get on with a bit of camping. So, now we've arrived at the Caravan and Motorhome Club's White House Beach site at Kessingland, right on the coast. It couldn't be much nearer to the beach, but I won't be watching the ships going past because it's time to hook up and pop up the roof. The roof is one of the easiest I've ever come across to raise and even to lower. You just release this safety catch at the front, and then these two buttons or catches at the side just pull in and then give it a push. Then it's a case of raising the roof bed out of the way, and that is a standard feature. And then you have a choice. You can either leave things as they are if it's a bit cool or wet outside, or if you're somewhere warm and nice and sunny, like Suffolk in September, some of the time, and make the most of the good weather. Now that's all very well, it's still fly screened to keep the bugs out, but that won't keep much weather out. And if you want some sort of halfway house with some daylight coming in, but not lots of cold air, well, you can't achieve that compromise. What you have got though is some nice uplighters in the roof area, so they at least put some light into the space when you need it. Hook up is just behind the driver's door. The next job is to spin the front seats. Now both seats go round without opening the doors. You do have to let the handbrake off for the driver's seat, and it's easiest if you tip the backrest forward first. Handle just down here releases the seat to turn, and then it just goes all the way around. As usual then, the passenger seat is easier. This goes pretty much straight round, and then your cab is integrated into your living area. The only thing is, you can't really get the handbrake fully back on, which is okay in an automatic when you're in park, but I'm not sure what you do if you have a manual gearbox version. Now, if you want to add the table, well, that stores in the boot, which probably isn't the best place when it's chucking it down with rain. But this is a good boot area. This space is crucial in this type of camper. I've seen ones where the seat is practically here and there's no shelf area at all. Well, forget those. If you haven't got that storage space, you're really going to struggle. As you can see, I've got all my bedding here, bag full of clothes, and still plenty of room. And then underneath, well, this bag is your rear awning, which we'll come to in a minute, and there's plenty of room underneath there for a porta potty, levelling wedges, mains lead, outdoor chairs, all that sort of stuff can be stuffed underneath. So this boot area is vital in these sort of campers. But the table, if you want to get the table, undo two catches and it drops down. Now it's a freestanding table, so you can use it outside or in the living space. Back in the boot area, you've also got storage. This shelved locker, which has got the RCD and your habitation fuses at the back. room for mains lead and hose and so on in there. Then you've got your freshwater filler, that's 14 litres inboard, and there's a waste tank that's 14 litres underneath the van. And then here, and this is a standard feature, you've got your external shower. So the rear awning. Now this is an optional feature, and I haven't tried this, so you're seeing it the first time that I've seen it. So you tie it round back wheels. So I haven't got any pegs to peg it out, but that is the rear awning. It's a £580 option. I wouldn't recommend it. If you want extra space, get a freestanding inflatable awning. We've got an Outwell one, works brilliantly. If you use this, your van's not secure because the tailgate's up. And you haven't got a kitchen or anything at the back, so it's not really in the right place. You might say, but go for the comfort pack and you get a roll-out awning from Thule. Except I've never seen a roll-out awning like this before. There's no winding handle. You open the box after releasing these catches at either end, then you manually unfurl this awning and have to attach the legs again manually. Now, Turvis had a go at it at the Adria factory, and suffice to say, I will not be trying it here on my own. Adria, please give us a proper roll-out awning with a winding handle. Back inside the van, and the living space works really well. Swivel cab seats, the Reimo bench, but there is a price to pay for that second sliding door, and that's the small kitchen. Now, you've already seen the fridge. That's a 41 litre compressor model that I've already shown you can reach outside. Above that is your cutlery drawer, and then at the top here you have a can unit with just a small sink and a single gas burner. Behind there you have a tambour door that gives you access to quite a large cupboard, ideal for your non-perishable foods and your plates and pots and pans and all that sort of thing. And now it's time for a cup of coffee. While I'm enjoying my coffee, just a moment to remind you that these videos are brought to you by magazine, Britain's leading motorhome publication for over 50 years, and available in both digital and print forms. See outandaboutlive.co.uk to buy your copy. Now, some details in the van where you've got neat little pockets for your washing up liquid and so on behind the sink, 12 volt and 230 volt sockets conveniently above there too, and another 230 volt socket at the back. Over on this side you've got a USB port and a simple little control panel, plus the dial for your diesel fired Webasto heating. It's a blown air heater with just one outlet just behind the passenger cab seat there, but 2 kilowatt output, plenty for a small van like this, because you're not going to be camping hopefully when there's snow on the ground. Lighting, well, you've got strip lights over both sliding doors and over the tailgate. That's important when you're in bed. You've got a downlight in the base of the roof bed, and then uplighters in the front corners. Again, illumination in that sort of roof area. So a good amount of lighting for a small van like this. Unlike a lot of VW campers, you have opening windows on both sides, but also rather unusual are these blinds. Now, being white, they do let in quite a bit of daylight early morning, so pity they're perhaps not a darker colour. Curtains then around the cab and on the back window. More storage under this back seat, which you just lift to access. Good sized space. I've got my camera and laptop and so on in there. But then when you've flipped over the seat base, you just need to lift a handle and lower the backrest, and then that is your double bed made. And because you can keep your bedding in the top section of the boot area, well, you can just unravel that, ready for the night. And the bed is 1.96 metres long by 1.15 metres wide, fractionally more if you measure to the wall, and that's 6'5" by 3'9½". Of course, even easier than that is the roof bed, because you just pull it down into position, and then you have a double bed 1.87 metres long by 1.3 metres wide. That's 6'1½" by 4'3", and it's on plastic Froley springs for much greater comfort. So, final verdict time on this Adria Active Duo. Well, first of all, does it work as a car? Yes, a resounding yes. And does it work as a camper? Yes, it does. It's a high quality camper with some really good features, such as this Reimo sliding seat system. But there is an issue. When I first picked up this van, I saw the base price, £62,795, and I thought, good. And then I saw the options. First of all, you need to add the comfort pack at £3,590, and that gives you the Webasto diesel heating, the 100 amp hour auxiliary battery, carpets in the cab, and the black open sky pop top, the fully opening panoramic roof, and also the special suspension that brings the height down to 1.99 metres, and that dreaded manual rollout awning, please no. But then there's more options. First of all, on the base vehicle, front and rear bumpers, mirrors, side rails and corners all colour coded, plus the chrome grille and a leather steering wheel, £580. Automatic lights and wipers, front fog lamps, parking sensors and rear parking camera, £1,750. EasyLink infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, £900. Alloy wheels, £805. A spare wheel, £305. Highland Grey metallic paint, £1,040. And then the upgrade from the 110 horsepower engine and manual gearbox to the 150 engine with the automatic gearbox, £4,975, and surely everybody's going to want that. And finally, well, you can forget this because I wouldn't bother, the rear tent, £580. Now that brings the total to £77,320, which I'm afraid makes it more expensive than quite a few VW campers. And that price is a shame, because with the twin sliding doors and the compact kitchen, I think this makes a great compromise between something like a California beach and your typical side kitchen camper van. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed our latest camper van review. plenty more coming along soon.